Hi PJ, hi Aurora. This is Patrick giving you a quick video response from somewhere in Missouri. I think I'm near St. Joe's, Missouri somewhere. I've been on the road a lot this week for work and for other things that I do, so unfortunately this is kind of a drive-by video. I apologize if I ramble, but I'm just tired from driving, so keep that in mind as you listen to this. Thank you for the video that you gave me this morning. I've been working on this video for a while, but I thought I'd reshoot it in response to that video and to say that we're there for you and we're trying to help you out, and if there's anything else that we can do for you, let us know. But first of all, let me start with our theories. One of our theories that we started off with right away was that Dr. Channing was up to his old tricks again, and it seems that that has proven true. The revelation from Madison that the 6 girls were found dead, most of them with cesarean sections, tells us unfortunately that the 6 girls that we helped save with Madison was for naught, which is very disheartening and disappointing, as I'm sure you feel as well. But the fact that he has these children now that he's experimenting on really makes me upset. And as you know, I have 5 children, so kids are pretty important to me. So the fact that he has these 5 children and is experimenting on them for his desires and his needs is pretty sick. So the other thing that we theorize is that he was still trying to work on his technique or his special ability of ESP and possibly mind control, and the arrest report that Madison informed you about regarding him being arrested not too long ago, but just allowing him to walk off with no really understanding of why he was let go or what happened to him, kind of leads support to the theory that he's still experimenting, and unfortunately it seems that these children are his new method of getting the cerebral spinal fluid for whatever he was using it for. Now from there things get a little murky. Now one of the biggest things that we've been trying to do is trying to figure out how Aurora is associated with this. Now PJ, you're with the community from day one with Madison Atkins pretty much, and you helped us save him. And so there's a lot of stuff that they could have known from you about that. But Aurora, you're kind of the wild card here. And it gets even more complicated with you, Aurora, because the death of your uncle, as you stated, was the, I'm sorry about the air quotes, I hate doing that, but was the initiator of all of this. It was the initiation of all this. This was the opportunity of excuse that they were using to reach out to you. Now we understand that they reached out to you, Aurora, to get a hold of PJ. PJ, you went dead on them. They couldn't get a hold of you online anymore. It goes back to our theory that we've been working on that says dead does not mean dead. Dead just means you've been cut off. And so they couldn't get a hold of PJ, so Aurora, they got a hold of you, but how did they know about you? And that is kind of a sticking point for us. We've asked you a lot about your uncle, and the only reason we ask you about that is this really wasn't your uncle. So it's not like they could say, oh, the uncle died, that was the uncle of Aurora, therefore we're going to reach out to Aurora, this is going to be my excuse to be able to send a package to Aurora. Well, that's not the case here. Unless the obituary specifically mentioned Aurora as a surviving family member, or Aurora being there, or Aurora being associated with this uncle in some way, how did they know, first of all, that you called him your uncle, because he wasn't really your uncle, and how did they know that you were connected with him to reach out to you at that point, that you were going to be in town at that point, or at that period of time, so they could reach out to you and drop off this package to you? There just doesn't seem to be a real clear-cut answers there. If you can think of anything that would have connected you to the uncle, or anything that was published about this uncle that connected him to you, or any way that they could have figured out that this gentleman who wasn't your uncle, yet you referred to as your uncle, had died and you were connected to them, that would help. Anything you could think of weird at the funeral, give us some thoughts. Let us know. PJ, obviously they're relying on you to help with this. Annette, and especially it seems Elizabeth, really believes in you, and we do too, and we want to help you with whatever needs to be happening or whatever needs to go on. So PJ, you're kind of the one that it's kind of the linchpin here. Now it seems that Annette and Elizabeth have a lot of information on you. They have a picture of you and Aurora from when you were in 3rd grade. They have another picture of you, PJ, with the children of your godmother. So this is a person who has access to information about your past history and about your past life. Now, we're assuming that these are coming from Annette, because Elizabeth is the one who is dropping these off and are sending them to you. So Annette has this information on you, or has these pictures, or at least has access to these pictures. We just have to figure out why that is and who this person is. And they keep pointing something back to your life, something that happened in your past. So our theory is Annette is linked to you somehow in the past. Some way this Annette knows about your past and is reaching out to you. And we're kind of drawing a blank there, and I'm sorry about that, but we're working on that. So those are the two things we're trying to figure out. Is how does Annette have these pictures of you? Because once we understand what her role is in your past, we can understand some of these messages. So who is Annette? We've been focusing on Elizabeth, but she's the one who's dropping the letters. Annette is the one who seems to be making the videos and the song lists that we're utilizing, and has the pictures of you that is sending them to Elizabeth. And Aurora, well, Aurora, you're the wild card here. We're trying to figure out how they know about you. Now, I do want to answer another question. You asked about my last names. I'll close with, or my screen name. I'll close with my screen name. The name that I use is Talzin, and it's actually a bastardization of a name of an Irish poet. There's an Irish poet from about the 6th century. I think the pronunciation was Taliesin or Taliesin. And in the AOL days, I tried to sign up with that name in the AOL days because I like this Irish poet, and it is believed that he helped create some of the Arthurian legends, or wrote them down. He was a bard, actually, not a poet, but he was a bard in the 6th century. And it was taken, so I kind of bastardized the name, and originally I used an S in my name, and unfortunately that name was stolen from me, and I won't get into that. And so I replaced the S with the Z, and just rearranged a little bit, the letters a little bit, so I pronounced it Talzin, or Talzin, it doesn't matter how you pronounce it. But it has nothing to do with tails, Aurora. I do have 5 children, but it does have nothing to do with tails, so just wanted to clear that up. So PJ Aurora, we're here for you. Be safe, and especially you, PJ. Really be safe. Elizabeth was in your town recently, we believe, because of the entry in the logbook. If Annette and Elizabeth had been able to find you, well, there's a possibility that Dr. Channing could as well. Be safe, be careful, and watch your back here for the next couple of weeks. I'll be in touch.